on? Do leave it in the car.
Baby, are you still going with me tomorrow with my family?
Brenda, we were with them the last 2 days, and yesterday they didn't know when they were going to come together.
I know, but today we'll be ready by noon.
Really? The last time you guys talked, you didn't know what time you were going to meet. I told my family I couldn't meet them at the picnic, but I guess now maybe I can.
Rick, this was planned several weeks ago, and your family just told you about this picnic this week. You should be going with me.
Brenda, why should I have to cancel going to see my family when your people don't even know when they're going to really get together? It's not fair to ask me just to sit down and wait.
Rick, people do not have to be ready when you want them to. They are on vacation and should be able to get ready when they want to.
Brenda, true, I agree. But I should have the same right to make other plans.
I'm not sure what is fair, but you said you was going to be with me.
Yeah, but that was when the date was planned and set. Not we'll get together whenever.
Whatever, Rick. Maybe we should just leave this in the car.
Or ask our LSTT listeners to tell us what they think.
All right, LSTT listeners, who's on my side? I want you to, go on Facebook, you can go on our website. You can email us at let's stay together talk show at gmail.com. When you hear this on the radio show today, or tonight, I should say, and when you hear it on our Facebook, we want you to just write back and tell us what you think about this subject. So the let's stay together, leave it in the car subject is just, how do you handle a family squabble where you're being pulled in two different directions and, you want to be fair to each other, but sometimes it doesn't work out. And so we had a little scenario that went on just recently, and we do ask a question, is this real or Memorex? But this is real. So you don't have to go with Memorex. We're just going to tell you it's real. And it was, where a situation where the family was getting together, and I had a situation when I was wanting to be with my family, and I was trying to see if we can plan the thing right, because I already told my family,
right,
plan it right. So, I already told my family that I wasn't going to be with them. But it just seemed like, things were changing where it was an opportunity that I might be able to go over to that family event. And so me and Brenda was talking about it, and we were saying how arguments can happen. We didn't really have a big argument or anything about it. We were just talking about it, and, it came out to be where I went with her family anyway. But we just thought about it and said, I know that married couples or relationships, they have these kind of, issues where they're trying to, two things happen at once, and you're trying to make the, decision on where to go. And so, I was saying, hey, if there's an opening here, I could be with my family, and Brenda was saying, well, you already promised, to be with mine.
Right. And I believe that if you said you was going to do something, do it. Instead of something come up at the last minute, you change and say, oh, I could do this. And it's like, well, no, this was planned ahead of time. Now, see if it was canceled and something came up, then yeah, go for it. But other than that, it just seemed like, well, no, you said this was what you're going to do, so let's stick with that.
Well, I mean,
even if the time might have altered a little bit, we still had that date planned out.
Well, see, now here's the thing that I don't agree with, and it's not for me. I'm saying
Leslie, call in.
I'm saying that
I got this, Leslie. It's Tracy.
I think what it needs to be, thank you for following protocol, Tracy. Where it is that if a person has an opportunity, see, here's the problem that we have with relationships. When people start wanting to make you stick to something that they don't stick to themselves. And I'm not saying that to Brenda, but I'm saying what happens a lot of times, if a person has an opportunity to do something and it doesn't interfere with what else is being done, then you don't sit there and make them feel guilty for trying to do it, because you're trying to be, acceptable to the change. What was happening here is that they wasn't 100% sure about what time they was going to meet. It was supposed to be 12. The one brother was saying something different. We might have to meet at 2. They were thinking about 4. And I'm like, if there's an opening where I can now be with my family, which I haven't seen in a while either, that I can go there for a little bit, spend some time with them, and then we make the decision of what time we're going to be there, we go, then you allow that person to have that ability to do that. not try to pressure them on saying, you said you was going to be here. It was the last moment. You give that leeway, and I don't know, maybe as a marriage counselor you'll do this, or you'll be Betty Shabazz and you won't. But when you have that opportunity to allow that person to also be able to, enjoy being with their family or doing what they want, and it can kind of blend in, you open up and you allow that to be done. And so that's what I'm saying. In relationships, a lot of times you got to be careful about trying to stick somebody to something when an opportunity allows them to be able to enjoy being somewhere else too, because then what it does is allow that person to enjoy being with you even more, because you were open to allow them, hey baby, if we're not sure about what time we're going to be, go with your family and then we can come back, when they say that, they're ready, we can go. That gives an opening for that person, like, oh, that's nice that you're considerate about me as well. So Betty Shabazz or Brenda. Okay, Brenda's coming back. So Tracy, what you got to say about that? I'm going to have to get a name for you somehow.
Oh, okay. I mean, of course, you have to be considerate of situations. But I mean, I'm a planner, and if plans were made, I kind of want to stick to the plans that were made. But like I say, I think that I probably in this situation would have compromised and invited my family to come along.
What do you mean invited your family to come along? Well, we couldn't get the whole family together because there's so many different places.
Okay.
But we're talking about as far as a relationship with a couple. If an opening comes where we can go now and spend a little bit of time with my family and then go back with being with yours, that allows that other person to feel that you care about them and their concerns as well. Plans can be broken, or they can be amended,
altered,
or they can be altered. They can.
I'm sorry, and you're right, because that's a real touchy situation, because I do get an attitude about it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like at Thanksgiving, when my daughter has to go with her other side of the family, and she starts there first and gets us, I do get an attitude. So.
Yeah, and that's typical among you females. Y'all always getting attitudes about something, but
we have to compromise.
But as men that are level-headed, and think things out and very calm and collective, what I'm basically saying, and leaving in the car, we're not going to stay with it too much longer, is that you need to be concerned about each other, and if something allows that person to alter a plan so that person can feel just as appreciated, then you do that. And so that's what the Let's Stay Together, Leave It in the Car was for today. We're a little bit behind schedule, so babe, we're going to go into one of my favorite things, which is the